Well, there have always been complicated issues involved. The Section 301 report talked about forced technology transfer, intellectual property rights protection. Those are issues that go to the core of China's economic model when we talk about subsidies, industrial policy, state-owned enterprise reform, all of which are parts of this Section 301 negotiations and the negotiations between the two sides. The business community has always hoped that these national security issues like the ones you just mentioned and the trade issues can remain separate. Unfortunately, they're becoming increasingly interlinked. That, of course, does create challenges in the negotiations, but when we talk to both U.S. and Chinese government officials, they use the term talking while fighting to describe the current negotiations. There are frankly going to be national security issues that continue to be irritants in the bilateral trade negotiations. Both sides are just going to have to manage those going forward.
They're more than irritants, aren't they, Jake? I mean, they're fairly substantial issues.
These are issues that every industry and corporate representatives have to deal with on their own. I can tell you, for example, when we talk to our member companies about the situations in Hong Kong, Xinjiang, they note that fundamental freedoms, human rights, freedom of speech, they're core values of U.S. industry everywhere they operate around the world. However, they note that in every place they operate, cultures are different, expectations are different, their consumers have views on the specific local situation that they need to respect. So every company that operates in the market needs to take a different perspective on what the situation is and how they respond.
So how much do you have to give up when it comes to doing business in China? I mean, obviously there's a huge and very significant economic benefit for companies doing business in China, but when you're talking about those very key issues like freedom of speech, that's quite a significant step to say in this country we are going to abide by their rules.
Well, I would argue that by being in these markets where some of these challenges emerge, foreign companies are actually raising the standards of the domestic market. If we look at what happened with the NBA situation, this has caused a debate domestically being led by some, such as Hu Xijin with the Global Times, who are calling into question whether or not these values can be discussed. I think the initial knee-jerk reaction was driven by some lower on the value chain within China's system. It's put pressure on those above. And I think there is actually a reasonable debate that's beginning now within China's elite and within their media about American values, about freedom of speech, that's very healthy for the current situation. And again, these debates would never happen if U.S. industry was not operating in markets like China.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.